Everybody, thanks for watching. And just a quick reminder that the final 2 books in the 5 Books of Moses series is now available. Numbers and Deuteronomy is now available. All 5 books is now available on flash drive and for download and for DVD. Also, people have been asking about the flash drives. This Saturday there will be a sale on the flash drives again. The first 20 people who purchase the flash drives will receive the next 5 DVDs and digital downloads for free, meaning you will all get the DVDs in the mail as well as the digital download links for the next 5 DVDs, the first 20 people who order. So this will begin on Saturday. It will end that Tuesday for this sale. So try to be the first, one of the first 20 people. So now I want to get into this video, put out my last video about popularity problem. Now, one of the things, and as you can see with the title of the video, one of the things we have to realize, when we look at everything as far as this system and the way it has been set up, and always talk about universal law, talk about the trap. We all know about the system and the trap that's set up for us to fail. What we have to realize is the system is really giving us choice. And there's something that's hard for us to see because it seems like things is the way that it is. And we always say that, things are the way that it is. And we always make comments to the fact that we're being set up, we're being put in places to fail. And that's basically what it is. We have been given opportunities and it's been rigged, the opportunities. And everything is geared more so because of the programming for us to make the wrong choices. And that's what it's about when you really pay attention. Everything is choice. You choose to be where you are. You choose to either excel or to fail. And if you have the right knowledge, if you have the right tools and the capability to go far, the education or what have you, you can do a lot of things. But to get to certain points of success, everything is really going to be based upon the choices that you make, starting at a young age. And that's the issue. If you're not taught about what choices are the right choices, or what you should do, what directions you should go. Basically, if you're not taught how to play the game, you're going to fail. You're not going to make it. You're not going to pass certain levels. You're going to get left back. You have to start all over in certain places. And, we have been basically set up to make the wrong choices. Now, if you pay attention to the system, and everybody know that, the powers that be, they create a problem so they can then present a solution that's basically, a part of their agenda. So they create a problem, we react to it, and they give us choices to the solution. And the whole thing is, no matter what we choose, it's part of the agenda. It's set up for us to either go along with the agenda or one way or another, basically. So, this is what has happened. We can go back and just look at, segregation. And we basically ask for desegregation. Now, in hindsight, when we look back at it, we can see that wasn't the best choice for us when we really understand how things were progressing in the Black community and how we were moving up as far as economics. It wasn't really the best choice for us to make. Now, when you go back and look at history, and it's another reason why they throw this history in our face, to get us to understand this is what we asked for. We asked to be with them. We asked, we marched, we got beat down. We took beat downs just for us to be able to vote for something that has never benefited us. So everything we did, civil rights movement, voting, all the people that was beat down, the people that was killed, so many things we endured for the right to vote for a system that has never benefited us, as far as our voting. So, it didn't matter who we voted for, we never got anything as a people. So again, choices, the choices we made, and everything has been rigged for us to end up making choices that's not going to benefit us. So now, as a result of us asking for desegregation, we lost our, business infrastructure. We lost our Black businesses, and we lost the ability to basically come together as a people and do things that will benefit us. And, instead, we took the choice to go on and desegregate and to try to blend in and mix in and fit in with, white America And because of that, we lost our identity. We are basically, not united. We are not a strong force the way we used to be. And our leaders have been basically, bought off and killed because of them being able to be in the system that allows them to basically, fit in with their masters, fit in with the white man, which we have basically all been trained in some form of another since slavery to favor them. And you have a lot of people that do. So the whole thing with that is when you have people that had the opportunity now to go ahead and basically be with, white people and white businesses and join different clubs and go to different places and do things they wasn't able to do with us being segregated. A lot of people took to that. A lot of people looked at that as an opportunity to be something or to do something, to try to fit in with the culture or fit in with, the white system. And a lot of people just was lost at that time and didn't have the understanding of who we were and real economics and how it benefited us to just stay desegregated and to build, our economic system on our own. So again, that choice we made. We marched, we protested. They remind us of it every year, civil rights and everything, Black History Month, all we see, Dr. King. And you have a lot of people that will come out and show you and tell you that Dr. King, maybe he did know, maybe he didn't know, but he was basically used to bring about this whole downfall. So it's a choice that we made, and it's the same choice that we made again with the whole hip hop culture. We basically marched for that as well. And it was a Trojan horse that basically has come in and destroyed the Black community. If you remember, everybody knows about NWA, gangster rap, and them basically running on the whole notion that, they're basically talking about what's happening in the hood. The whole bait was we rapping about what the cops is doing to us. But then once, people accepted that form of entertainment, it switched over from, rapping about cops and what's happening in the neighborhood as far as from a poverty level to us, completely being violent against each other. And a lot of people, didn't realize how many people was out there marching against, gangster rap, as I talked about in previous videos. But I talked about before, you have to pay attention to just the names and how they clearly wanted us to portray ourselves as violent gangsters. When you look at, Ruthless Records with Eazy-E, it's called Ruthless Records. Death Row, Murder Inc., all these rap names, Tech Nine, people with gun names, everybody basically coming into the hip hop culture with some form of violent name or violence or drug dealing or something that pertains to something negative attached to their whole name or, their group, and this was put out, mainstream, put out on the forefront. Even the people that was up and coming underground felt like they had to take on that persona of this gangster negative, artist in order to do something. And this is what we asked for. This is the choice we made as a people to bring and put out, into, the populace, and have it represent our culture, us. Again, choice that we didn't understand the implications of, a choice that we made. And again, when I talk about universal law and I talk about nothing that this government system is doing is illegal, when you pay attention, this is what I mean. Because when you go back and look at it, we asked for it. But it's important to understand the fact that, we were set up to ask for it. And had we had more patience and understanding and, good leaders, we would have known what was happening, before we made that choice. Now, to me, from looking at everything, the worst choice we've made since slavery was keeping the religion. And religion, that choice for us to follow that has really, destroyed us more so as a people, because it gave us false hope and made us believe that we had this special, God, Savior up there looking out for us when we just came out of hundreds of years of captivity. And this Savior didn't help us then, and damn sure didn't help us when we got out of it. So people making that choice to accept religion as some kind of truth, some kind of guidance for their life has been just the worst, because, it made us really just sit back and wait and hope and pray instead of actually doing something that would benefit us. And that's the crazy part about religion. People who, ask for something and not really have the full understanding that anything that you ask for, anything that you want on a physical level, this is the physical world. Anything that you want, you have to physically go and get it, or have someone that's physical, that's real, bring it to you. There's nothing spooky that's going to happen that's going to give you what you want. So people just really praying and hoping just magically something happens without them actually putting in the work is crazy. So, religion gave us this false hope. But of course, you have to choose to believe. You have to choose to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. You have to choose to be baptized. You have to choose to read the book and accept the religion. Accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. These are choices you have to make. And it's almost like, when you think about it with church, them saying that you have to make the choice. You have to choose to accept Jesus. You have to say the words. This is a choice you had to make. So religion has been one of the choices that we made as a people that has really been the biggest backfire and downfall. I mean, the billions of dollars that we give to churches that we spend for nothing, not really benefiting us. And then, when people need things, when we need stuff as a people, school or what have you, it's not there. The church is not giving us back any of that money to help us out. So, it's been one of the biggest problems. Of course, I always speak about religion that we are seeing. But again, choice. It's always been that choice. And I always tell people to look at the whole metaphor of God and Satan as it being choice. You have to choose to be good or choose to be bad. When you always see those little cartoon, devil on one shoulder, angel on another shoulder, the other shoulder, it's choice. It's representing the dual nature that exists, that is good, evil, masculine, feminine, yin, yang. We know. It's a choice. So you have to choose a side. You can't serve both masters. Plain and simple. So, that's one of those things that really a lot of people got to look at and just, see it for what it is. And just think about in the Bible where it's telling you, to serve your earthly master. Slaves, obey your earthly master with fear and trembling as you would Jesus Christ. That's serving two masters. It's telling you to serve the white man as you would Jesus Christ. So it's telling you to serve two masters. So that's another contradiction in the Bible I always like to point out. But that is what is basically giving you the hint of choice. You have to choose. And either you're going to choose to follow what this system said is right and good or what have you, or you're going to understand what's really going on and follow what's right. You have to make the choice or what's supposed to be. So now, if you want to control the people's wealth, the economic system, and you want to put them in a place and tell them, okay, we're the bosses, we're running everything, but it's going to be fair, everything's going to be equal. How do you sit there and tell them that with a straight face, but then have a system in place that's set up for them to fail? How are you going to get them to follow that system? And that's basically what it is. One, lack of education. You not understanding the value that you have in true economics as a person. That's one thing. Keep that information away from those people. But two, it's too simple to say, if you go to school, if you study and you work hard, you can grow up and you can be rich. That's the easy way. That's the easy way. That's if they just left us alone, didn't spoil nothing or sabotage anything, then we would say, okay, this is the way to go. This is the choice we should make. We should choose to be good, to not break the law. We should choose to go to school and learn as much as we can. Be smart, be educated, go to college, start our own business, be entrepreneurs. That's the way we would go. But that's too easy. So the choice we're given is first, one, we chose already hip hop. So that's the choice we took. And now we following that choice. We living with that choice. And now if you want to keep these people in poverty, you have to make sure they choose to be in poverty. Because if I want to be rich, I want to go ahead and make money, I'm going to just go do it. But see, now it's roadblocks in a way. It's more choices you have to make. And that's the problem. When you have multiple choices, which one is the right one to choose. And the most simplest, the right choice is hard because all the other choices are much more fun, plain and simple. So you have that choice. Choose to follow the hip hop culture, what's popular, what everybody else is doing. And this is how they have got us. They made a culture for us to follow that basically tells us that looking poor is not in, even though you're actually poor. You want to make sure that you don't look poor and act poor and be poor, even though you're actually poor. You want to joke about being poor here and there, but you want to put out the vision that you have money. You have to think about what kind of economic, financial choice is it for you to choose to buy stuff that's more expensive, too expensive, that you cannot afford, versus something just as good quality, not bad looking at all, brand spanking new for a lot less. And this is stuff that we just pass off as nothing because it's the norm in the Black community, but we don't really pay attention to how we spend so much money on stuff that we do not need. We don't need it. And we go broke, and people got closets full of $200 sneakers and nice stuff in their mom house, or no car, crazy clothes, crazy nice stuff, and then they can't afford to pay their rent, they late on bills, their credit is messed up, and it's because of the choices you made, the things you chose to do, what you chose to follow, that you have been set up and sabotaged to follow. So I always tell people, when you go out there and you see homeless people, especially brothers and sisters that's out there homeless, that don't got much, that's on drugs, you got to realize that they made the wrong choices because they were set up to make those choices. See, we talk down and we talk about homeless people and poor people, and we say, well, nigga, I'm working hard, I'm doing this, because you were just a little bit smarter, or maybe you just had somebody in your life to push you to the right direction. But we can't forget about the people who didn't have those people, that was under the same system as us, and maybe had more harder choices put on them, and more impossible situations put on them that they wasn't able to get out of, no matter what choice they made. So a lot of people, one of the main reasons why they can't really get into the government and the whole system and everything like that, because they really understand. A lot of people make excuses for themselves. It's because they understand that when you bring it all down, you add it all up, you look at the whole thing and you step back and take a look at it, we have been set up to fail. But you have to understand the choice was always there, plain and simple. We've just been trained to make the wrong choices. See, it's tough for people to really grasp this, to really think about it, because a lot of the stuff that we see is so normal to us. It's so regular. It just seems like it's the way it is, and it's how we talk. It's the way it is. It's how it's supposed to be. It just seems that way when it's not. You have to really think about brainwashing, brain training, programming, seriously. And a lot of people don't realize it. I mean, again, what would make a woman who wants respect, who don't want to be talked down to, again, put herself out there like that, set up a camera to twerk and then get upset when people call her names? Just think about the psyche in that. People are going to call you a whore, people are going to call you all kinds of names, and you don't like that, you don't want that, yet you still made the choice to put yourself in a position to receive that kind of, feedback. Why? Wow. What would make a person, pick up a gun and kill another person, because they got more money than them? That's crazy. Somebody who's successful, who work hard, who's doing something, for a person to want to take their life and take what they have, think about that. And then the whole thinking is crazy because you're going to get caught. And when you get caught, you're going to lose everything, probably even your life. That's training. That's brainwashing. We look at these people and say they're crazy. They have been trained. We have been trained to really, do these things, to make these choices. And again, when you have the music with that message behind it, and people not having the consciousness to, block it out, to understand what's really going on, they fall victim to it. And this is what's been happening to us in the Black community. We are being trained to make these choices. So you choose to sell drugs, you choose to kill this person, you choose to take that person's life. You get to that point where the gun is pulled out and you got a person's life in your hand and you choose to take it. You choose to take it. You choose to pull the trigger and just ruin somebody's entire family and everything. What can drive a person to the point to make that choice? And you have to think about that. It's a lot that's going on out here, and it's because of choices that we make, and a lot of people not really having the mental capacity, the understanding to understand it being set up. Plain and simple. Being set up, you've been put in a position of poverty, a position to fail. Anybody in poverty that's going through any kind of struggle, your natural instinct, your whole human survival kicks in, and you're going to do what you think needs to be done, to get ahead, to be successful, to eat, to feed your family, or what have you. So these are the conditions we've been put in. This is the setup. And now you have all these different choices. The impossible, hard choice to go and try to figure it out, that could lead to starvation or what have you. Or the immediate choice of selling drugs or robbing somebody and risking your life or what have you. And, the reward is more enticing than the risk itself. And you get to a point, some people, where they don't care if they die, it's like, it's over. This is it. I need to do something, so they do what they do. Choices. Plain and simple. And we all live and die by them. And we are all where we are at because of them. And what we need to understand as Black people, we've been set up to choose what we have chosen. So it's hard for white people to understand, why we are in poverty, why the situation is the way that it is, because they have the same choices. And they always say that we all have the same choices. You choose what you choose. You chose to do this or what have you. But their system, their choices is not rigged like ours is. So they can go ahead and listen to the music, but then they gotta, they get to go home to two-parent household, a huge family they have moral support, they have money, a backing. So even if, Tommy has a drug problem, they're gonna have an intervention. It's gonna work out for Tommy. He's gonna be okay, possibly. For us, it's the norm. The atmosphere, the environment is conducive to that person failing. You walking up and down the street, you live in a neighborhood full of people who are failing, who are, in poverty. It's normal to see. Versus, white people who got this whole system and structure and family. They have what I always talk about, the tools in place that's going to create generational wealth. It's all there for them. So it's going to work out. And they don't understand. They think we have the same exact thing. We have broken homes. We have parents in prison. We have dead parents. We have one-parent households. We have school issues, education issues. We don't have proper supply. We don't have proper treatment, Medicare. So many issues we got to deal with that just seems like we having the same, choices, but we don't. And they can't get that because they don't live where we live. They don't see the system. And it's been set up so that they don't see the system, so that when we express our problems, they look at us like we complaining. And we just upset about slavery still. We upset about civil rights movement or something like that. We just being, mean, evil. We want a handout. We want a free ride like they got during slavery. So the generational wealth they was able to build from us, they're realizing it today. They're where they're at because of that. And we have been deprived of that. We haven't been given that. We haven't even been given what was promised to us once set free, that was taken away, that was stolen from us. I talked about this in previous video. Lincoln, he had the foresight to set up the bank, and he's supposed to got land, 40 acres and a mule, our own bank, all stolen. So when you begin to look at history, we know what was taking place. But when you look closer, you can see, what has been set up and put in place for us to continue to fail and to give us choices that the immediate choice seems like the choice that's going to save my life right now. The hard struggle, the one that don't nobody want to pick, that seems hard and tough, it's the right choice. Nobody's going to pick that choice, and it's the right one. And that's what we have to face. It's crazy. So, we choose, welfare. We choose welfare and, any type of programs that can help us out. And then people end up being dependent on those programs because it's too hard. You got a bunch of kids. If you don't have anybody to watch them, daycare, what have you, it's too hard to get out there, or even to get a job or set up a system where you can work and get them to school on time. It's tough. So the government says, hey, it's okay. Take this welfare, take this money. We're going to take care. We're going to give you food stamps. You're going to be all right. And that's a choice that you have to make. Or you can figure it out. You can go the hard route. It's a lot of people who do that, who balance it and end up coming out of food stamps and poverty, and they made the right choice. But that's not the same situation for everybody, and that's how it's been set up to be. So my point in this video is to really get people to understand, just basically piggybacking off the last video, to really understand what I always say. You can't put us in that same boat with these white folks. Stop saying, well, white people do it too. We're not given the same choices. We all know this. Plain and simple. So we're not in that same boat. We don't understand that for us to move ahead, to get ahead, we have to sacrifice. We have to take the hard road, and it's been set up that way. It's one of those things where we have to accept what it is, plain and simple. And we got to sacrifice and fight to get to where we want to be, because that's the way the system has been set up for us to go. We can't change it right now. We got to get ourselves straight first. So we complaining and we bitching and moaning about the system, that we're not going to change it, because the people who we need to come together and to wake up to change it, they won't even read a damn book, plain and simple. They won't do what's necessary to get the knowledge to make the change. I always tell people that. People always ask me the question, how do I get my family out of religion? How do I wake them up? And I always say, well, the more questions you can answer, because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of questions. So if you have the knowledge to answer those questions, because you have to convince people, you have to have the answers to their questions. If you don't got the knowledge to do it, then, they're going to think you're just following some wacko, some crazy person on YouTube. I get that a lot. So it's up to you. You have to make that choice. You have to choose to seek the knowledge. You have to choose to learn. You have to choose to read, research, to learn, to really get it in, memorize, understand, educate. It's up to you. You have to make that choice. Just like they have to make the choice to come out of religion, to wake up, to see what's really going on. And it's a choice they got to make. So it's all choices, and if we don't understand that our choices is going to be hard because we black, our choices is going to be hard because we the original man, our choices is going to be hard because the black woman is God. She's powerful. We're powerful. And they're not just going to let us figure this shit out and take the easy route that's going to lead to them being basically put in the back burner and us being on top. It's not going to be easy. And again, we brush it off. Everything that we're following, everything that's been put in front of us is to make us choose between real success, our progression as a people, or, fun, excitement, entertainment. We don't even realize that we have chosen entertainment over black progress, over, success. We've chosen entertainment. We have chosen to follow our own destruction rather than, choose liberation, freedom from the system. We've chosen entertainment, to be entertained simply until we die. That's it. That's what we have chosen. That's the choice we made, because we don't even want to realize that it is the entertainment that is the problem. We glorify the entertainers, the people who have sold us out. That's the choice we have made, plain and simple. You have people out here that will sell out the entire black race, that will sell out the entire African race, all the black people, all the colored people on the planet. They will sell out and go inside with that white man for a record deal, plain and simple, for some money, for just them, their selfish dreams and goals that they have been programmed to want. They will go and follow that and sell us all out, and then flash the money in our face and say, nah, I got this money, I'm balling, I'm shitting on y'all. They would choose to do all that, sell us completely out. And this is what's happening. They'd rather do that than to see us all progress as a people, plain and simple. And it's crazy because what's going to end up happening at this rate is, first of all, one, we monkey see, monkey do. Follow the trend, as I was talking about last video. And sooner or later, you're going to have people look around, and there's not going to be any more conscious people left. There's not going to be any more real people left. And there's going to be so many people following the trends and following the culture and following this whole hip hop thing that people are going to look around and say, oh, well, this is what it is. This is what people are doing. I'm the only one screaming out, save us and help us and black power. And everybody else is like, I want to be entertained. I might as well join the crowd, because you're going to end up being that odd man out when everybody else is following the same thing. And you're that one person like, let's do the right thing. And everybody laughing at you. Those little bit of people that's left, because it's happening already, they're going to say, fuck it. Follow the trend. I see a lot of black people struggle, so-called conscious people struggle with, balancing the trends and consciousness. And of course, don't get me wrong, being conscious and understanding what's going on out there is cool, but it's okay in the sense that you are aware of what's happening and what's taking place. But as far as complete and total participation in things that's going to be destroying us, like, twerking and gangster rap and all that type stuff, and any type of thing that's making your people look bad or making us, setting us back. And I can't agree with none of that. All that stuff is just like, come on, it's unnecessary. But people choose to do it. It's the choice that they make. And, that choice is basically hurting everybody. And that's basically being real about it. So we all can basically look at our life, and everybody can see the choices that we made that put us where we are. Plain and simple. You fell in love with the wrong dude, kids, now you're struggling, got locked up, selling drugs, made that choice, you made that choice, put you where you are, and it's tough. And a lot of people don't want to blame themselves. Some people look deeper into the whole situation and say, I've been set up to fail, But at some point, you gotta start taking responsibility for your choices. It's too much information out here now. It's just too much. And it goes into that whole realm of right from wrong, duality, devil, angel, plain and simple. Goes into those choices. So, yeah, you may need to sell drugs and kill some people to survive and feed your family, but it's that, the right choice. It was the wrong choice. You made that choice. You may be doing good now and balling. It's a choice you made. Then you get arrested. You sit in jail for the rest of your life. And you want to blame the system, But it's that choice you made. If you stick to those choices, right and wrong, if you do what's right, it's tough to fail if you going in the right direction. So, you chose to follow this guy that you knew wasn't no good, selling drugs, didn't really trust him. You chose, to make that choice. So now you're ending up with kids and no father. And it's a choice you made, but you didn't choose what was right. You chose what was wrong. And again, we can go through this, bunch of different choices, bunch of different scenarios, but it all comes to that point where you have to realize you have been tricked to make that choice. You have been brainwashed. And I'm not saying to let people off the hook, but it's the truth. You have been set up to make that choice. And again, it's tough to do what's right when everything is pointing to you doing something that you don't have no idea is right or wrong. So it's like, okay, if this system, this government who rules I'm supposed to follow, this system, this government who makes these laws that we have to obey, who throw us in jail or what have you, if they are backing this whole culture of talking about killing people and shooting people and everything like that, and I'm seeing people get awards for it and make money, millions of dollars, get praised and celebrated, how am I not going to make that choice? How can I not follow this? Is it not right? So that aspect, that's huge. People follow it. People go in that direction. They seek it, and it just seems like something that's right because everything is pointing in a direction for them to feel like it's right. But it's a trap, and it's a setup. And so many black men have failed, have fallen to, trying to live that gangster life and been killed or spending the rest of their life in prison. And we all know somebody like that. So I've heard so many people's stories, people from all over the world emailing me stories and telling me, stuff about their life and things they have done. And the main thing the common thing about each and every person's story that I have read, have the time to read, choice. You can always find that one point in the story, like, what was you thinking? Why did you make that choice? And they'll give you the explanation of, either they don't know, it just seemed like the right thing to do, it was their only choice. And it always goes back to that one choice that curved the direction in their life. I know I could point to mine, and mine was choosing to, go into the occult, choosing to really understand Satan and all the evil stuff that I was scared of, and to leave Christianity. That was the choice for me. That was the choice I made that put me here, that changed everything. So we can all look at our lives and find that choice, that one thing that now, because of this decision, this is what it is. I'm here. So, I want you guys to really pay attention, to the choices that you make, and really think hard, meditate before you make huge life decisions, and just see it through to where, you want to be able to see it. And I always say this to people, to, my close friends, if I can't see it, if you can't see it, you can't follow it through to the end, be cautious of that choice. Don't make it until you can see it through. Okay, I know exactly where this is going to go. This could possibly happen. But, I have choices and things I can do to rectify those situations. But this is exactly where I'm going to be headed. It's going to go there. When you're not making choices at all, you're not training yourself to make these choices and to recognize, the direction that you're going in. You're following the unknown now. And you don't know what's coming. You're just gone, without thought. What are you doing? Walking into a trap. So really think about the choices that you're making, where you're headed, and what's going to happen, And spontaneous people, they usually ain't got nothing to live for, to tell you the truth. It's okay to be spontaneous, but you could be spontaneous when you got it like that. You can be spontaneous when you really just don't care. But if you care, if you got morals and you got a sense of direction that you want to go into, you better know what you're doing. You better make sure the right choices are ahead of you. Now, we all can agree that racism and white supremacy exists, that there's a system in place that is set up for us to fail. We can all agree on that. You have to understand, again, as I always say, what are the weapons? What are the tools that they are using for this system to work? And this is a problem, again. We are not recognizing the weapons. We are not recognizing what they're using against us. So I make these videos, to get you to pay attention and to understand what they are, and that you can do what we always do. We can always say, keep it moving, keep doing the same stuff over and over again and not getting no results. The reason why nothing has changed is because we have not changed. We keep going, oh well, so what? The emotion that a lot of people get now is just so blank. A lot of people are cold. They don't feel shit. They don't care. And, not caring, it's like cool now. It's like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. That's cool now. And we don't recognize that these emotions and feelings has been made for us to feel, for us to fail, for us to choose to follow those emotions, and to lead us to what? No change. The same shit over and over again. Next year it'll be something new. Next month it'll be something new we'll be complaining about. Something else is going to happen. We're going to be complaining about the same stuff over and over again because we chose to not do anything, to go, whatever. It is what it is. It's going to go worry about my immediate situation right now, and I think about anything else. It's the same stuff we do collectively as a people. Glad to see is some people waking up, people choosing to be conscious and choosing to go in the right direction and understand what's really going on. But again, if we can agree that this stuff is happening, that this system is set up, that, we have to basically follow what they've given us, because this is all that's here. They controlling it. So of course, if you understand that, you have to understand that there are things in place that is set up for us to fail. And again, that is our choices. So again, if I'm the one who is giving you the choice, there it is. So the choices I'm giving you, no matter what you pick, I'm going to win. I mean, even if you do choose to be successful and you make it, I'm still winning. I'm still a boss. I'm still up. But I would rather you be in one of the other decisions, because even though you're successful and I'm still up, it's just one you. Now, if a bunch of you start getting successful and coming up, then that's a problem. And that's the system, and that's the way, that's how they balance it. A couple people make it, more people don't. Oh well. One in out of 100 black people make it out and be something special. Oh well, they can deal with those numbers. And it's because of choices. So if we can agree this stuff is here, we got to start recognizing in our own lives the weapons that is used against us. Yes, you, right now. The weapons that's in your life, stuff that's happening to you right now, and you might be following it to some bullshit, and you're going to end up messed up because of it. Because you said, oh well, whatever. You got work to do, bills to pay. So I just know from experience and from what I see what these choices are. We know, you guys know, you understand what I'm saying. It's out there, and it's up to you to make the choice to follow it or not, and to warn the people who you see, making those wrong choices. We keep letting our people die, Just had, somebody who I grew up with pass, drug problem. And everybody knew it. Everybody understood that, this dude has a drug problem, he drank too much, and, everybody don't care because he chill, he cool. We'll hang around, and that's my buddy. And then he's gone. They're dead and gone, and then everybody's sad and they miss him. But nobody said nothing because it wasn't cool, it wasn't popular, it wasn't the right thing to do. I didn't want to be tripping, but he gone forever. And you not realizing that, damn, he probably needed your help. You probably could have saved his life just saying a couple things. So a lot of people I talk to that I tried to help and show them the way, a couple of them are dead because they didn't make that choice, to listen. So hopefully, if you know people like that in your life, talk to them before it's too late, because they getting us the fuck out of here. They getting us. And a lot of us, I've seen too many people die this year already. It's crazy. And it's messed up. But choices. And, either you're going to make the right choice to be successful and everything's going to be okay, or it's going to be the same. So, it's something to think about. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Thanks to everybody who's purchasing and supporting. Appreciate it. A couple questions about the book. If you didn't see some of my DVDs, I talked about this. Basically in a legal battle right now to get this out. Everything is ready to go. So once this legal battle is done, the book will release. It's just something holding it up. I'll talk about it when it's over. Can't talk about it now. But appreciate the support. Again, more videos coming for YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. See you next video.